U.S. forces launching new strikes on Iran this morning. President Trump says the regime must come to the negotiating table soon or face destruction. Let's bring in Fox News chief foreign correspondent Trey Yingst, who sat down with President Trump at the White House just yesterday. Hey, Trey.
Taylor, good afternoon. President Trump spoke yesterday with Fox News about the war with Iran, and he said that the strikes are going to continue and expand against the regime. Well, this morning, U.S. Central Command announced around 6 a.m. Eastern time that they were striking once again during the daytime Iranian territory. The president left open the possibility of a ground operation in the future in a limited capacity and said this about the upcoming targets for U.S. forces.
Next week comes the power plants. Next week comes the bridges. We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate.
Do you believe the Iranians are serious about making a deal?
I think they have no choice.
Why haven't they yet?
I think if I didn't do the way I'm doing, they would never make a deal.
Earlier this week, U.S. forces reimposed the naval blockade of Iranian ports, so focus does remain on the Strait of Hormuz. Here's what President Trump had to say about that critical waterway. Shipping data trackers indicate that just 10 vessels passed through the Strait of Hormuz on Monday, less than 10% of what normally goes through this critical waterway. When you say the strait is open, what do you mean?
It's open if people want to go through it. We're not opening it for Iran. That's the only one it's closed for. It's closed for Iran, both in and out. People are finding now that there are alternatives to the Strait of Hormuz. And it's pretty amazing. You saw the line of boats going up to Texas about 2 weeks ago when it was actually closed. It looked like the Long Island Expressway for ships. There are pipelines being built right now all over the place. It's going to be doing less business in the future than it used to.
President Trump had a very clear message for the Iranian regime: make a deal, a good faith deal that opens the strait and addresses the country's nuclear program, or this war will escalate. Guys?
Trey, thank you so much. All right, Larry, we've been having this debate for a couple weeks now that Iran thinks that it has the leverage over the strait. But the longer this goes on, the more they lose the leverage, because as Brian's mentioned, Qatar, UAE, Japan said, we're reducing our reliance on the strait to zero. We are done with you people. You heard the president say, looks like the Long Island Expressway. Boats are lining up to get in and out of Texas. Long term, I hear that, but the short term, that causes some angst within the market as well. Pipelines.
21 ships last night. Yep. 21 ships last night. So that's, I think the high was 40 to 50. But it's better than 10. So I don't know. Look, there's a lot of things going on here. One of them is the president's point, your point. People will become less reliant. They're building pipelines. The Gulf states are building east to west Red Sea pipelines. That's very important. And they're getting them done real fast, much faster than might have been the case otherwise. So that's very good. The southern route, as I understand it, the so-called Omani Channel, is open to get through. So maybe you can keep punching through 20 some odd ships, maybe even do a little better.
Although I think most are going the Iranian route. They're not doing that Omani route because that's where they're getting shot at.
Well, that's, therein lies the problem. Yeah. And I personally, I don't believe Iran, I don't believe the IRGC wants a deal. I don't believe they ever wanted a deal. I do believe they actually, all they wanted was a respite from the bombing. And so now look how the game has changed. It looks to me like the National Security Council meeting Tuesday that's been reported, Axios and others, decisions were made probably to finish off the CENTCOM targets. They said they were 25% to destroy their offensive capabilities. So that's a good thing, in my opinion. That's what it's going to take. I'm sorry, the human loss is terrible, but that's what it's going to take because these crazy people are running the place. And we're just going to have to keep bombing. They want to develop nuclear weapons. Whatever pieces of paper we sign or they sign, I think it has absolutely no meaning. And so we're going to go back and hit Pickaxe Mountain and some of these other places and do it again. I guess you could knock them out for another 20 years and hope for the best, or hope that the civilian population revolts or something like that. But they'll never abide by any promise ever. Okay, so the president is doing Operation, what was it called? Project Freedom. I don't know. I mean, we're going to do it. We're going to open the straits. I don't know.
Can I ask you a question on that? Jackie, weigh in. Remember when we were like, wait, the straits closed? Why are we only at like $90 barrel instead of 120 or 130? The president came out and said, because secretly, we've been sneaking ships through. Was it 100 million barrels over the course of 6 weeks or 8 weeks? So I'm wondering, okay, only 20 tankers have gone through, but that's what we've been tracking. Are we sneaking oil out the way we were, and that's why crude is only at 80? We're not back to 110, 120? I mean, we don't know that because none of us are on the National Security Council, but is there ways for us to do what we did before, sneak ships through, supply oil to the market, and that's why oil is relatively tame?
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's possible. I mean, I think that's been part of the process of what the president has been doing, which is why we're staying under 80, even with the threat of bombing continuing. And the points that you made, Brian made earlier, and the Trey's interview brings up that the Iranians become more irrelevant to a certain degree when everybody else is looking for alternate routes, and understand that they're lepers, they're pariahs. We have to stay away from them. So we've got to figure out other opportunities for ourselves.
I mean, here's how stupid they are. They're bombing these Gulf states.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
Huh? Really? Way to make friends and influence
They're desperate.
people.
They're desperate.
I mean, it's crazy.
But the problem that I have with even what the president just told Trey Yingst last night in that soundbite is this word that he uses, unless. I will do X, Y, and Z unless they come to the table. He keeps saying that, and that's where I'm getting frustrated. And I asked you in the break, like, do you think that he'll really go through with the operations to hit the oil and gas plants next week and let's do this in earnest, because that's where it's headed? Or then is he going to come back and back off and be like, well, now we're talking to them again? I mean, it's getting to be a lot.
He's trying. Look, it's a hard thing. He has obviously many constituencies globally. And so I think he wants to keep the diplomatic channel going for some of these constituencies. Some of them are international, some of them are national. I think he's run out of patience. I think what's happened this week is very important. 5 days in a row, the National Security Council meeting. CENTCOM, I think, is in the driver's seat again. So I think Iran's in for a very difficult, very, very difficult period. One other thing on the price, China is basically in a recession.
Yes.
Okay, now they call it 4%. What did they publish today? 4%.
Yeah.
That's for them. That's a recession. And anyway, I don't believe the numbers. In fact, they don't believe.
Subtract
they'll probably
3 from that.
They'll stop publishing. Right? They don't publish bad numbers. It's a very interesting
Right.
system. Maybe we should think about that too. Joke. But I'm just saying, the so-called demand destruction is in China.
Yes, it is.
And Europe ain't doing too well either. So you're at a low point, probably the lowest.
Correct.
And we're fine because we're producing.
Yeah.
And we just can do it in the Permian Basin. So that's, you know, I also think, you know, the world hates Iran. With the exception of the Democratic Socialist Party of America, which is represented very well here in New York and a few other outlets, the world hates Iran. So I believe that the step up in bombing, the fact that they've crossed his red lines and his patience has run out and he's now going back to the tough alternative is a plus.
Okay.
It is a plus. I think it's actually saying the end is near, whatever that looks like, the end is near, and we're going to stomp on this and squeeze them and squeeze them and squeeze them until they just don't matter anymore. That's right.
I agree. I think he believes, I think it's true, the Iranian regime is ultimately beaten here, but he keeps that unless in those comments, because it is true that the one ally they have is the Democratic Socialists of America, and Trump wants to, as he defeats Iran, he's always got his eye on oil. He's always got his eye on the consumer, on American prosperity, and I think where he can create relief for consumers, like we did with the MOU, he's going to do that even as he continues to put Iran on the path of ultimate extinction.
The fact that he is doing this, I'll call it dual approach, diplomacy and kinetic military action, shows that he is a great president, that he is in fact a statesman, that he can juggle these things, okay? And he doesn't have to lunge in one direction or another solely. All right, it's the mark of a balanced approach. It's the mark of a good diplomat. It's also the mark of a great leader, because if you allow lines to be crossed, then no one believes you. So he keeps his credibility going. He's warned them. Lord knows, he's warned them every single day. And so it's a difficult but brilliant strategy. This is a hard thing to do.
Yep.
Wars in general are hard things to do.
I always say I don't envy him.
That's right.
We got to go.